All right, y'all. This episode is brought to you by Sleep Number.
Tea for time.
Welcome back, all of my football listeners. What a weekend it has been. First of all, it's good to be back. We pre-recorded, the college versus NFL stuff, so it's nice to be live back in studio after. I've had a long couple weeks, but that's for another podcast, not for this one. We had some crazy things happen, and I'm going to do a hot take just right off the bat.
Let's do it.
Are you ready?
Uh-huh.
College football has lost its charm.
Ooh, I'm getting my hands ready for the tea, but I'll hear you out.
No, you know what? I just feel like there used to be so much that I loved about college football. You know, it definitely wasn't. It's not as intense. It's obviously not as well played as the NFL, and that is just because that's the top of the top college players that are playing in the NFL. But I just always loved that it felt kind of like Pop Warner football. And do you know what Pop Warner is?
Please explain that. I sure know, but
maybe that's a Southern term. I don't know.
I think it is.
God,
I don't know what that is.
I hope it doesn't mean anything bad, but no, it's just like youth football. It's the little boys running around with their huge pads on, just wanting to make a tackle or wanting to do something for their team, wanting to win, all of these things. But watching college football this past weekend during rivalry week, I really just didn't like it. I felt like there were a bunch of egos on the field. And like when you get to the NFL, I feel like you have the right to have an ego. And I'm not saying you should, but you do have the right to, because you made it to the top. You're there. When you're in college, but the problem is these guys are getting paid like they're in the NFL. So their egos get big. And all of a sudden it becomes not a team sport anymore. It's like me, 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 me. Okay. It's just lost its charm for me. And I watched it, and every game I turned on, a fight broke out, like a all out brawl. And I'm going, what is going? I just was annoyed. Did you watch any of it?
I had it on passively in the background this weekend, but I don't know. I've never really gotten into college football, even when my brother was playing. I didn't.
Okay, wait a sec. I feel like timeout listeners need to hear that.
I know. Timeout listeners, the world is really small because my brother actually was a receiver at Cal during Goff's reign there.
It's so crazy.
Isn't that really weird?
It's a really small world. What number was he?
Oh, God, I don't know.
Okay, see, this is bad. You should know way more. Okay, but you know what? No, you shouldn't, because I had a brother that played football, and everyone thought I was supposed to know everything, and I was like, I don't really know anything. But that's why we're here.
And now I'm learning. Better late than never.
Better late than never. And you know what? It's fun when you get to watch, but not college. I don't know. We went to the Georgia game, and I love the tradition of everything happening before the game, but the fans have gotten too intense. Now the players, it feels like a mini NFL, not like do you say poor man's NFL?
Well, it's more like young man's NFL.
I don't know. I do think it's like ego driven. And I do think when I look at college football now, I don't see it as people fighting with their team, or like, I'm not going to use fighting because that's a word that we'll use later, but like, I don't know, really giving it all for their team. Instead, it's like, I just feel like it's very selfish now.
Yeah.
So that's my hot take.
I know. And as we've talked about before, we don't really have a resolution because it's not like universities should be profiting off of kids endlessly.
No, they should not. Yeah.
However, can they manage their egos and their money? And at that age, it's hard to say. They are adults, but
they're not. You're right. And maybe we shouldn't blame the children because they're children. We should blame the heads that are in charge of all this. But I'm going, if I'm a mother, I am a mother.
Oh, I was going to say there's quite a lot of your children.
And maybe I'm wrong. I'm not in this position, so I can't say. But I would think that I don't know, you would want your child to be on a team where it is an actual team sport trying to win and not full of a bunch of egomaniacs.
I would say, it's a culture problem, and your leaders need to step up.
Yeah.
And your quarterback needs to step up. If you're going to be an adult and you're going to be making quarterback money in college, maybe you need to be a team leader too.
The maturity is real. And again, I I don't know much about every team in college right now. I really don't. I don't even know a lot about Georgia. But when I tried to turn it on, I just turned it off. Like I went from game to game to game. People are, I mean, it is known that when you win, usually you can plant your flag in the middle of the field.
Sure.
Now, is it right? Probably not. But they've been doing it for a while. And so for these fights to break out over the flag, getting planted, like ripping the flag. First of all, I was worried the flagpole was going to stab someone in the heart. Did you see that the police had to break up the Michigan-Ohio State game?
I didn't even want to watch.
Pepper spray. They used pepper spray. I'm going, what is happening?
That's a lot.
I'd be pissed if I was like a reporter out there and I got pepper sprayed. I'd be like, I'm suing. Like, this is not right. Anyways, so fights break out. Fights break out in the NFL too. It happens. But I just feel like I don't know. It just is getting a little out of hand in college. So there's that. Also with college.
Yeah.
I mean, that Georgia game was exhausting.
Was it 8 overtimes?
8 overtimes, which is not the record, but close.
Really? Do we know what the record is?
I think it's 9.
Okay.
But I was in LA watching it 3 hours behind, and I'm looking at all these fans. I'm thinking about the people that have their kids there.
Imagine if that was the game that Hank, you and me were.
Oh God, it would be, well, yeah, we probably would have gotten in a fight. No, but I was honestly thinking like, okay, now, and I know people don't normally bring their kids to night games, and it was a night game in Atlanta or in Athens, but there are people that do it, and I'm thinking about those people who brought their kids, and 8 overtimes they're saying, you're not leaving. You can't leave once you've made it that far.
We've met those fans. They ain't leaving.
No, they're not leaving. You're right. Not even if they have newborns. Those guys, they're staying. And honestly, I probably would have stayed too. Once you hit the overtime, you're like, well, I can't go home now.
Yeah.
And you're probably not thinking it's going to be 8 overtimes.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so like we talked about, college, you cannot tie.
Yep.
So they had to keep going until a winner was declared. Could you imagine if there was like 15 overtimes?
At this point, it's just a stamina race, I would think.
I guess. I don't know. It was exhausting to watch. But anyway, so as you probably noticed, college and NFL have completely different overtimes.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer college. I think it's a little more fun, a little more exciting, and also it's not decided by a coin toss.
Yeah.
So in college, both teams get a shot. I think they flip a coin to see who goes first. Both teams get a shot from the 25. So 25 going into the end zone, 25-yard line, okay? First team, like Georgia scored. I don't remember who went first, but first team scored. The next team gets the ball. They get a shot from the other 25. Now, if they both score, it starts over. But the second team who got the ball gets it first this time. So who did we play? Georgia Tech. Mm-hmm. Let's say Georgia Tech went first, Georgia went second. They both scored. Georgia now goes first. So anyways, they both kept scoring. The second time around, when they both score, they have to go for 2 points. There's no kicks.
Oh.
So you have to get the 2-point conversion. It was funny though, because in this Georgia game, one team wouldn't get it, and then the next team wouldn't get it. And so then they started again, and then they'd get it,
yeah.
not get it, not get it. I was going, Matthew was trying to stay awake. He's like, I've got to go to bed. I have a long travel day tomorrow. And I'm like, this is actually the most entertained by college football I've been in a long time. So I'm staying awake. Turns out Georgia ended up winning that game. They're for sure going to be in the playoffs now. But what a wild Georgia Tech. Don't sleep on them. I feel like they're very good. Or we're really bad, one or the other. It might be a little line of the both. It might be both.
A little bit. How does this happen? Is this tired defense on both teams? Or?
You mean like how does it just keep going?
Yeah.
Well,
were they this evenly matched?
3-yard line shouldn't be that difficult to get into from. Now I say that in the NFL, we call it our red zone offense, which we'll get into what red zone is because that was a question. But you get to the 3, you're expecting to score. Mm-hmm. So you only get one chance at it though with these 2-point conversions for overtime. For obviously you only get one chance for 2-point conversions in general. But I don't know if it's tired defense or if it's just
good enough offense.
Yeah. And it's so close to it's 3 yards.
Yeah.
It's not, It's not a lot. That's a lot in the NFL, but I don't think that's a lot in college. Once you put your biggest men in there, and that's kind of what everyone does to stop the run, because most people run it from that, that close. But there were a bunch of passes too. It was crazy. It was crazy, but I did enjoy the overtime.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, I didn't really watch the game, but I watched the overtime. That was exciting.
I mean, that's all that matters.
Yes. Speaking of not overtime, but turning on it. So I completely forgot about the time change difference on Thanksgiving.
Oh.
Chris came over. I'm talking to him, and he's like, "Are you not watching the game?" And I was like, I thought it started at 12:30. He goes, "No, 9:30 here." And I was like, "Oh, shit." And you guys know I love a good Thanksgiving football game. And it was the Lions. And obviously I want to root them on. So I turned it on for literally the last 2 plays. Now, this whole thing, I was screaming at the TV. Okay. Obviously, if you did not hear, the Bears coach got fired. I'm sure not just over this. I'm sure it was a lot of things. But do you think, I'm going to ask you, do you think he handled the last play wrong?
I was not watching that game on
Oh, no. Okay. Okay. Your family didn't have football on?
Not that early.
Okay, I agree. It was early.
I was like, this is my holiday. I'm going to sleep in. I'm going to not watch football until the middle part of the day.
Okay.
And then I started watching.
Okay.
For the
I mean, I was watching the Macy's Thanksgiving parade, having a great time. T-Pain was the only shining light of that whole thing. And it was so good, though. I didn't realize when I had posted a story, guys, and I was commentating in the background, and I didn't realize it. I was like, "Ooh, yeah, ooh, ee." But he was the best thing. But then that's when Chris already was like, "You're not why." I was like, "Oh, like I was thinking right after the Macy's parade, that's when the football comes on. It has. Right. I'm so used to that schedule.
Right.
Well,
Still.
really f that up. Yeah.
Did you get good sleep that night, though?
Yes, I did. Thank God. Listen, I had been away. And I get that you guys are probably getting tired of hearing about this, but listen, they have good beds over at Evermore, which was a great resort. We'll talk about that on TMA though.
Yeah.
Good beds. They really do. But I have really messed up my back.
Really?
Yes. And like, again, can't complain to my husband as he's just getting hit left and right. So I've just kind of tried to, put some stim on it, put heat.
Quietly change your sleep number setting.
Up, down, which one works? No, super firm is what I need.
Yeah.
And the Evermore beds were great, but they were a little softer than what I'm used to. So getting back, thank God, I still have a lot of work to do on my back, but at least I know, like, I'm not hurting it by sleeping.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can do damage in your sleep, and that should be the time you're resting.
Yes. So thank goodness for that. All right. And so you guys know Sleep Number sponsors this show. And if you're in the market for a new bed, I promise you, go to the store, try them out. They have all different kinds. In fact, Matthew's sister is doing that today as we talk. So if you're in the market for a new bed, go try it out at any Sleep Number store near you. So end of that game, Bears are in field goal range to tie it. 36 seconds left. Quarterback gets sacked. Okay, that keeps the clock running. The Bears have 1 timeout.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in my opinion, I would have called a timeout right there.
Mm-hmm.
You get about 32 seconds once the whistle's blown. Call a timeout. There's 32 seconds on the clock. I think I looked that up. It's either 32 or 31 seconds. Now, from there, you tell your kicking team this is a Mayday kick, meaning you're not going to have the 25 seconds or 40 seconds to set up. You're not going to have a lot of time at all. So you be ready. Right when this play is over, you're running on the field. You have to snap the ball before it hits 0.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that timeout's for. You get a play in, you tell your kicking team that.
Right.
It gives you a chance. Now, what happened? Quarterback gets sacked. No timeout was called. Quarterback's Caleb Williams is trying to get his people set into a play. He's looking, he's reading defenses. He snaps the ball with about 5 seconds left. Game over. Now, whose job is it to call that timeout?
The coach.
The head coaches.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. And I know that there are algorithms and things when it comes to timing and end of the game timeouts. But I believe that what I just said was probably the better thing to do.
Got you.
But I'm also not an NFL coach.
Right. Well, I will say, so that you don't have to.
Okay.
I've seen a lot of Caleb Williams slander on the internet over the weekend.
Interesting.
Always. There's always
Why?
a lot of, because again, and I've seen people comment back this, and I happen to agree with what little knowledge I have, is that they believe that errors like this are his
Always
fault.
the quarterback's fault.
Always the quarterback's fault.
Yeah.
But a lot of people have been pointing out he's a rookie quarterback, and especially when you're a rookie, I would think the coach running the plays, calling the timeouts, helping out with routes would be extremely important, right?
Yeah, that's really interesting to me that people are even blaming him. Because I'm thinking, and maybe I'm wrong, but I'm thinking about Matthew in that moment. I mean, I would think you rely on your head coach to make that decision because maybe your head coach has a different play in mind or something, and that's why he's not calling timeout. I wouldn't put that on Caleb at all. Like at all. In fact, I'm not sure what that game consisted of because, again, I did not watch it. But the fact that they could have tied the number 1 team in the NFL makes me think he was playing all right.
And they've not had the best track record until that point.
No, and I do think the Bears have lost now multiple times in a last minute situation where the clock management was a problem. And as much now, there is some responsibility. There's a lot of responsibility on a quarterback for clock management, but there's also a lot of responsibility on the head coach.
Right.
So it goes both ways. But with that, I would not. I mean, you're thinking, oh, okay, head coach is calling a play in or whatever. We're going.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's interesting, though. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think that would more so be on the coach.
Okay.
Than the
Interesting.
player. Yeah, than the quarterback. I think the quarterback has all right to call timeouts when a play is not getting in or they're having trouble lining up, things like that, so that they don't get a delay of game. But again, when the stakes are that high and there's so much stuff going on that field, to have Caleb think of, okay, I just got sacked. Let me get up, figure out what we're running, all these things. The coach, he should be thinking about, do I need to call timeout too? I think in those moments, especially you're right with a rookie, that's the coach's job.
Right?
Yes.
I would think.
So
Anyways,
as I'm sitting here talking to you guys, I'm also sipping on a protein shake that honestly I'm obsessing over because it has my Manukora honey in it. Now, this puts all other honey to shame, guys. It is so rich and just very delicious, but also it's got a ton of health benefits because it contains powerful nutrients from the remote forests of New Zealand. It has a lot in it to support immunity and gut health. I have noticed a lot of difference just between switching from my sugar to this for my coffee, my protein shakes, my teas, really about everything. I've actually been giving a little spoonful as well to my children. They love it. So now it's easier than ever to try Manukora honey. Head to manukora.com/morningafter to get the $25 off of the starter kit, which comes with an MGO 850 plus Manuka honey jar, 5 travel honey sticks, which I took to Evermore, which was amazing, a wooden spoon, and a guidebook. That's manukora.com/morningafter for the $25 off your starter kit. I think this actually makes for a great stocking stuffer. So if you have people that like to put honey in their teas and their coffees, if you haven't tried it, you should, because it's way better than just putting sugar in. So again, that's manukora.com/morningafter for that $25 off the starter kit. All right, then the Chiefs versus Raiders, which everyone had questions about this.
The ending to it.
The ending. I'm not gonna lie. I was decorating for Christmas during this game. So I did watch some of it, but again, I truly didn't think it was gonna be a game. And that's my fault. I'm kind of mad that it was a game and I didn't get to see it.
Well, the Chiefs have been cutting it close with some of these wins.
Listen, this just shows you, though, they are very beatable. The Lions and the Chiefs are beatable.
Mm.
Every team in the NFL
Is beatable.
is beatable. So that's what makes it fun.
How boring would that be?
Yeah. I mean, again, now they've only gotten beaten once, both of them, but
So they're doing well.
but they're beatable. So, anyways, there was a lot of question, and I went and looked up the play that everyone, the last second play or last whatever. This is the game where the ball was snapped prematurely, and they were in field goal range to win it. Aiden O'Connell is the quarterback. He steps up to the line. The ball was snapped prematurely. Foreplay.
That's for later.
The balls came prematurely. Oh God. It's so bad. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh, it's making football so much more fun though.
Okay, so he was not expecting the ball to come that quick. And I love that he went to the media and took full responsibility of that. Clearly that's just a mistake, and I don't think it's anybody's fault. I did see the right guard tap the center, which usually means snap the ball. But the quarterback was not ready. So ball goes behind the quarterback, whistles blow. Okay. Chiefs jump on the ball anyways, which you're always taught in football to get on the ball.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what, if the whistle blows or not, get on the ball. The ref at the top was signaling false start, which means a dead ball play, which means it is a penalty, but the Raiders still get the ball.
Right.
Right? Okay. Well, then there was a discussion, and they said, no, it was an illegal motion or illegal shift, which is the same thing.
Oh.
Which means the play stands.
What?
It is not a dead ball foul. So the Chiefs got a quote unquote clear recovery, even though players stopped playing because the whistles were blown, and they gave the Chiefs the ball.
Okay, what?
Okay, so false start. Let's go over this. People were like, what's it? False start. Everyone is set, meaning the O-line is set. They moved too soon before the ball is snapped. Illegal motion or illegal shift means that they never got set before the ball was snapped. Yes. So was it an illegal motion or shift? Yes. When I looked at it, people were not set. Okay.
How would you know they're set? They're just still?
They have to be completely still.
Okay.
Before the ball snapped.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the problem is, I don't think that's the problem. I think that was the right call. The problem was they blew it dead like it was a false start.
Oh.
So if they had not blown it dead, who's to know if the Raiders would have gotten on the ball? Do you see what I'm saying?
I would be really mad then if I was a Raiders fan.
Either way, I'm pissed.
Yeah.
Because you might the line or the ref was at the top of the TV immediately was calling for false start. Blew the whistle.
Mm-hmm.
Dead ball foul.
Yeah.
And then after the discussion,
it was
between the refs, subjectivity.
Yeah, subjectivity.
Yeah.
Close. Almost.
English is hard. That's going to be a quote in my thing. English is hard.
It is.
It is. Subjectivity. Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. They decided that it was not a false start, that it was an illegal motion. So the Raiders could have won that game.
Yeah.
They could have kicked it before that, even before that. They were on the 32.
To be honest, in my opinion, if it's a ref error, then you should give it back to the Raiders.
I agree.
Don't you think?
I agree. If you blow the whistle, it should be not a clear recovery by any team because you blew the whistle, and the team that had the ball should get the ball.
Right.
Well, that's not how it goes, I guess. It's not how it went in that game.
Come on, the Chiefs can throw another L. They have enough. I'm just saying, if we're gonna be subjective in football, at least favor the underdog, please.
I actually think that's great.
Isn't that I think
yes?
Fair
I
point.
always root for the underdog.
Oh, this is America.
We root for the underdog always. No, but I mean, you're right. Maybe we let that swing the other way instead of towards the Chiefs, but whatever. The name of this company really does say it all. It's Uncommon Goods. So they're not common to have. And this is what I love about it. They're very unique gifts. If you're looking for something that not everyone is going to give this holiday or that not everyone already has, Uncommon Goods has you covered. It's mostly by artists, smaller businesses. Most of the things are handmade. And so it really is just an amazing website where you can look and find things for the people you love most. But if you're going to someone's house for dinner, they make great hostess gifts. I mean, there is a plethora of things on this website, and honestly, they're all unique and so amazing. To get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/Kelly. That's uncommongoods.com/Kelly for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods. We're all out of the ordinary. All right, our game. Turns out I've gotten to a point, guys, in my life that sometimes it's easier just not to watch. Not to watch, but like also I turn the volume off. It's a whole thing. The first half was whoa.
I know.
And I think like I don't know what was going. I mean, we had the ball for 1 minute in the first like 15 minutes of the game. That's the time of possession in the first half was crazy. Now, second half, we got our footing. I felt like Matthew got a little, you're going to have off days. It's hard for me because he rarely has one.
Yeah.
But you're going to have them.
I didn't watch that game thinking Matthew was the problem.
No,
Maybe I'm biased.
I don't think that at all.
Yeah.
I'm just saying like I know there were certain balls that he wanted back in the first half. And I would turn around and I'd be like, oh, okay. and honestly, like it was just one of those games. And then second half, you get your footing, you get comfortable.
It just felt like once the Rams had momentum, that
yes,
they kind of just like were in stride.
Yeah, it was good. We got that one. A win is a win. And we got the Bills coming up, which will be a test.
Yeah, it
But
will.
I love, and I know Matthew loves a good challenge. So I'm excited about that. That Bills game.
I know, that was fun. I love a snowy game.
In the snow. Mm-hmm. I hate it for Christian McCaffrey. That breaks my heart. Obviously San Fran is our rival, but I feel for you San Fran fans. But I really feel for him and his family because that coming back and then season-ending injury, you never want to see that. But that game looked like it was really fun. Matthew played in one of those in Philadelphia where literally they would go down and their entire helmet would be packed with snow.
Okay, by the way, that's what I was thinking the entire game is I was like, how do these motherfuckers see?
Yeah, well, and think about the ones in the white jerseys. It's a little, like, it's an advantage and a disadvantage because advantage on defense because they can't see you.
Interesting.
Disadvantage on offense because you can't see your receivers.
Okay, can you wear goggles on the field?
I don't know. Yes. Yeah.
Because someone was wearing big old Oakleys, and I was like, is that an advantage?
Well, yeah, okay? I think you should wear goggles. I always thought it was interesting though. Like, can receivers wear goggles because then DBs can't read their eyes?
Yeah.
And if they're like, your receivers' eyes get really big when a ball's coming.
Yeah.
And they're like, and if a DB can't see that, how do they know? It's interesting.
Especially if I was looking at really reflective goggles on a player. He was on the sideline, so I don't know if he wore them on the field.
Maybe, I don't know. There might be a rule that you can't wear them on the field. They used to have like shields, and I don't see those anymore.
Interesting.
So maybe they've been, because I remember Calvin Johnson used to wear a shield. But
interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a fun game to watch.
It was fun. Speaking of injuries, a lot of y'all wrote in about the Trevor Lawrence situation. That player that hit him has issued an apology. Here's my thing. I'm going to tread lightly on this because I don't want Kiera to give me a timeout. But I rewatched it over and over again. Well, not over and over again, just like the initial. I can't watch the aftermath because it honestly makes me, as you guys know, makes it really hard. So in my opinion, and I might be biased because if this was my husband, I would freak the fuck out. I do believe he had time. And they play hard. They play rough. They play physical. that is a part of the game. But there are reasons for rules that have been put into place, and it is for the legitimate safety of people's lives. And so to lunge forward at somebody he was going down and you knew it.
He had been sliding for a millisecond.
I think he had started his slide, started his descent to the ground. And I get that these players don't want quarterbacks to be able to like fake that they're sliding and then keep going. But quarterbacks don't do that.
I've never seen that.
I do feel like quarterbacks they're also in the game, like they're team players, and they're not gonna like cheat by acting like they're gonna slide and then keep running. That's not what no one would do that. It's not the way the game's played. No one wants to do that.
Also, they do that. So what? Get over it.
Well, no, but they shouldn't.
Regroup and do another play.
No, they shouldn't, and they don't. You don't ever see it. So when a quarterback's running at you, I mean, and you see him somewhat give himself up, that's what they call that, to lunge forward with an elbow that has a metal brace on it and your helmet, yeah, I think you should be fined. You should be suspended. I thought it was completely wrong. Now, with the guy's apology came, a little bit of a sad moment where he was being called racist things and stuff like that, which is completely inappropriate. We leave the pun. This is why I hate social media, though, because everyone has a voice and can say whatever they want with no repercussions. So fans and stuff like that went after this DB who hit Trevor Lawrence. And again, do I think he meant to hurt him like that? No. Do I think he could have moved a little bit or changed? Yeah, I do. So I think he's probably sitting there going, no, I'm not going to even put words in or ideas out there. But I just do think that something could have been done. I think he is sorry. I do believe that no one wants to hurt someone like that ever.
I'm sure he would take it back.
Yeah, sometimes you're in a moment too. And this is football. And that's tough to say because, again, if this was my husband, I probably wouldn't be as nice right now. And I feel for Trevor Lawrence and his family. So to be honest, we're gonna pray for him and hope that it's a quick recovery, quick and effective and efficient. I don't want to say just quick because I don't like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because a lot of times quick recoveries aren't really recoveries.
Right.
Right. Especially with your head. So yeah. But the rules are in place for a reason, and I do believe that guy is gonna probably get what is expected.
Yeah. Intentions don't negate accountability.
Ooh. I like that.
I believe in that. Like, even if you're well-intended, you can still cause harm.
Yes, and you have to be accountable for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And your bank account does too. So there's probably a big fine coming his way.
Probably.
Santa came early to our house, and that is because I gifted ourselves, our family, with all new cookware and bakeware because I have read so much about all the toxic chemicals that are placed on the normal bakeware and cookware that we use. And, as we're trying to eat so healthy and organic, and then we're just cooking it and putting toxic chemicals into the food. So I have given ourselves Our Place. Our Place is on a mission to just make beautiful kitchen products that are healthy and sustainable, made without all the toxic chemicals. In addition to cookware and bakeware, they are also starting to make appliances because even appliances have the chemicals in them. I'm talking about fryers, pressure cookers, crock pots, and even the blenders. Now, what makes this place amazing is their stuff is beautiful. There's different colors. I mean, I loved replacing all of our stuff because not only do I know that we're not cooking toxic chemicals into our food, but it just looks way better. So go to FromOurPlace.com and enter my code MORNING at checkout to receive 10% off site-wide. That's FromOurPlace.com, code MORNING. Our Place offers a 100-day trial with free shipping and returns. So guys, just go check it out. Let me know what you think. So as I'm sitting here talking to you guys and talking about how I was wrapping gifts while watching football, well, I was also wrapping them in my Skims PJ lounge set. Now, they don't look like pajamas. They look like a nice lounge set, but they are so comfortable. In fact, my sister-in-law, she's pregnant, Rose, you guys know, she was wearing them at everyone. I go, aren't those the most comfortable things you ever put on? She goes, yes. What is it about Skims? Why? How can they make everything they make so comfortable? I'm talking the bras, the underwear, the dresses, everything they make, guys, is incredible. And they have this whole holiday shop right now. You can shop for the whole family. You can get matching pajamas for the whole family. It is pretty incredible. If you're looking for something to just snuggle your body and be comfortable in, look no further than Skims. Shop Skims Holiday Shop at skims.com. Available in styles for women, men, kids, and even pets. If you haven't yet, be sure to let them know that we sent you. After you place your order, select podcast in the survey and select our show in the drop-down menu that follows. We had some of y'all's questions written in, which is exciting. And also we have football foreplay coming up. Let's do the questions first. I like to end on football.
Yeah,
foreplay.
We should end on foreplay.
Okay. So a lot of y'all wrote in fumble versus incomplete pass. And this, did this happen in our game? Yes, it did at the end. So with a quarterback, if your hand motion is coming forward, if you've done this and it gets knocked out of your hand or hits it, whatever, that is an incomplete pass. Now, if your hand is back here, right, and you're not in your throwing motion yet, and your hand is open, that is a fumble. Okay. So if his motion's going forward like this and the ball comes loose, whatever, that's an incomplete pass. Okay. Right. If it's back here, it gets hit out like our game did. He wasn't moving forward with his arm. He was still kind of prepping his throw. Fumble.
Right.
Okay.
Live ball.
Get on it.
Anyone.
Get on every ball. Clearly, if the whistle blows, just get on the ball because we don't know you never know what'll happen. Now, what is the red zone? Which I kind of like this because I feel like they talk about it a lot on TV and never explain what it is.
Never. It's one of those like quote unquote givens of football.
Givens.
No one backtracks and like reminds you.
Yep, no one does. So, which there's red zone offenses, there's red zone defenses. Like there's certain plays you run in the red zone and there's certain defenses you run in the red zone because the red zone is the 20-yard line into your goal. So if you're on offense and you're on the 20 and you're looking at the end zone, that is your red zone. Okay? So and you'll hear them say, well, their red zone offense hasn't been very good. So that means if they get 20 or inside the 20 going into their goal line, that means their offense in those moments has not been great. Usually doesn't come away with 7 points. Usually comes away with 3.
So the strategy, so basically what you're saying is the strategy changes once you get into your red zone. Yep. You're going to be playing a different ball game.
Yep. Completely different ball game. Instead of stopping them from, getting big plays, you're trying to stop them from just scoring. They're most likely going to get the 3 points, but you're just trying to keep it to that. So the strategy, everything changes in the red zone. You don't have the ability to spread the field, meaning you don't have the ability to send receivers long to take defensive backs with them so that the shorter ball is open. You don't have that ability. So everything gets a little more clustered, or what's it called? Close together. Squished.
Yeah, sure.
There's a new football
That's a good term.
Squished. Then the funny question I thought for this week was, are the people that call the game outside?
Yeah. Are
okay.
They?
Because the cameras will go to them and they'll be all bundled up and everything. And people are like, wait, are they outside calling this game? I'm going to tell you, most booths that they call from are open windows. So like the Bills game, I'm sure that was an open window. So yes, they are in the outside elements. Are they getting snowed on? No, because they have equipment. They can't get snowed on. But they have a completely open air situation.
Okay.
Which to me, this is a question that I want to ask you.
Sure.
And I don't know if we've asked this before, but would you rather be watching the game in that kind of snow or playing the game in that kind of snow?
Playing.
Now, you think, though, everything is cold on your body. You get hit, that shit hurts. The ground is hard as shit. It's like cement. People don't think about that. But that ground freezes.
That's true.
So you're dealing, and you are not wearing a jacket.
Oh yeah, no, they look cool. No, okay. Honestly, I take back my answer. I did. I just remember like looking at their like bare arms last night, and
what
I
about
was
their
like,
fingers?
I was like, jeez,
How miserable.
these little Cali boys. I felt so bad for them. I was like, go back to the bay, warm up.
I will say, like, I always tell Matthew, I'm like, it's so much worse sitting in the stands because you're just freezing and you're not moving.
And he was like, okay.
And then we talked about it, and I was like, okay, you went.
I mean, he was lucky that in Detroit, that's
yes,
a closed stadium. Yeah.
Yes, very lucky, very very lucky. That would have been tough.
Would have been really rough on you. Too.
Yeah, yeah. But I'm so grateful that was not the case. But I think that I used to fight so bad that it was watching the game was worse because you couldn't move. You were just like stuck. But you also, like, I used to tape on those CVS heaters.
Yeah, those work.
All over my body. And then, I mean, how many layers are you wearing?
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean you're not cold.
Yeah.
But you're not getting hit to the ground with nothing on.
But it's really cute when they do like snow angels and stuff.
It is cute. It is. It's so cute.
The Sullies in the snow are so fun.
Football's so cute.
It is so
Okay.
cute.
All right. It is cute and it's sexual. Are you ready for football foreplay?
Oh, time out. I hated that.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Do you want to go first?
All right. I have two. I pulled up two. Let's see if we pulled up the same ones.
Okay.
All right. This one. I'm going to go with my not as fun one for the first one, but it's still fun. This was during the Bills game. These balls are flying all over the place. Balls everywhere.
That's classic.
Uh-huh.
That's so classic. Okay, I'll go. This is when I heard during Eagles-Ravens game, he got close enough with the tush push. And quick side note, is this an actual term?
Yes.
Tush push for the what the frickety frackety what?
Okay. Tush push snaps the ball. The Eagles came up with this, I think, but with Jason Kelsey as the center, snaps the ball, and you think about the quarterback having the ball and the running backs getting behind him and pushing his tush forward.
Oh my!
To get the very.
Oh my God! I
Yes.
will say no more.
Push tush. Tush push. Which one is it?
Tush push.
Tush push. It's cute though. I kind of like it.
Nice.
Okay. This is my favorite one. And this was from, can I say who it's from?
Maybe not.
Okay, fine. All right. You know who you are. Big, strong arm, big hands, and just drills it in there like there's nothing wrong.
What? Is that real?
No. You guys were so good at this week. There were
Yeah.
so many good ones. All right. Did you not pick that one?
No, I didn't.
that one's
I
so
didn't.
good.
I picked the ones mostly that people cited the game because that's fun.
Okay.
This one's not cited though. Lots of forceful penetration happening between those guys.
All right.
We
Lots of penetration.
always with Chris
Always.
Collinsworth, like
Yes.
usually on the mic.
Honestly, I hope people don't think like we don't like this. We love this.
I would.
Yeah,
I
this-
hope he's paid so much money.
This is honestly what I like. I turn the sound off in our game because sometimes I just can't deal with the commentary, and not that it's like good. Like when we're not playing well, I don't like to hear it, right?
Yeah.
Which is normal.
Yeah.
So I would turn it off, but in the other games, I have it on loud, like waiting. I'm like, okay. Oh yeah, that's a good one. You know, you're just like. So anyways, I hope you guys have fun trying to find them too, and they're very frequent. So if you haven't tried, listen to it for 5 minutes and you'll get one. I mean, it's crazy.
No, it's pretty wild.
I know, it's fun. All right, guys. Well, that is it for this week's timeout. I know you technically didn't go over any specifics, but things that happened in games, which I kind of liked anyways.
Yeah.
But next week, I think it's time we start going over divisions.
Yeah, we all have playoffs in our minds.
Yes, and our division is flip of the
anyone's.
coin. Like all 4 teams are involved still, which is kind of wild. So we will go over that next week. But until then, guys, rate us 5 stars, like, subscribe. Let us know if you have any questions or any foreplay that you hear. And then we're back to regular schedule for TMA. So we will see you guys on Thursday for that one. I'm going to be talking about, my goodness, a lot. So tune into that. Until then, time in and Rayuda.